Welcome to YouTube session. My name is Dr. Anshul Bajpai. Today I am going to discuss about the great French philosopher Rousseau. Great French philosopher Rousseau. Let me write the name. Great French philosopher Rousseau. It is stated that Rousseau was the responsible for the French Revolution. However, in his entire writings, Rousseau didn't use the term revolution, but his teachings were extremely influential and encouraged the people for revolution. He wrote several essays and novels and discussed about the freedom of speech, discussed about the moral values, discussed about the individualism, this type of thing. However, he was from a very lower class family, but he became professor in a university. He wrote many essays. Among all his essays, Discourse of Science and Art, Discourse on Science and Art, Rousseau discussed about the moral will, moral values. He criticized openly about the modern civilization. According to him, materialistic happiness does not indicate the real progress. In modern days, everything is related with the materialistic life. It means you are earning more and more money and you think that you are happy. It is not so. Sometimes without having money, your soul may be happy, and sometimes you are having money, but still you are facing various type of, various type of problems, health problems, so many other type of problems. And this materialistic progress is leading man to his downfall. It is stated by Rousseau, the progress is connected with the moral development of the modern society. Morality is replaced by disparity, corruption and jealousy. In modern days, morality is displaced by corruption, greed, jealousy and these type of things. Rousseau stated that the modern civilization is dangerous for the upliftment of the human being. He published another paper in which he discussed about the origin of this inequality. He discussed about the origin of inequality. He stated that there are two types of inequality in the society. Two types of inequality. One is human-made inequality, and another is human-made inequality, and another is natural inequality. Natural inequality. Human-made inequality means some people are of privileged class, some people are of non-privileged class, some people are of high class, high caste, some people are of low caste. This is the human-made inequality, and it evolved gradually. Natural inequality means some people are of black complexion, some people are of white complexion, some people are tall, some people are short. These are the natural inequality. Rousseau stated that natural inequality should be tolerated, must be tolerated, but this human-made inequality must be removed, because this human-made inequality evolved gradually and gradually in the society. How it evolved, he stated that in earlier period, in primitive phase, all were equal. In primitive phase, all were equal. There were no disparity, all were equal, no disparity. But as the society developed, the parameter of the development was shifted from spiritual progress to materialistic progress. Spiritual development to materialistic development. Spiritual development to materialistic development. Realistic development. Once this parameter changed, the parameter changed from spiritual development to materialistic development. It brought the concept of collection of maximum property, and it brought the concept of the private property, and it brought the economic inequality. And in this way, we see the economic inequality is the root cause of every type of evil. This economic inequality must be removed. Once the economic inequality is removed, all type of issues may be tackled very well. So Rousseau said that how this inequality evolved. This inequality evolved as the society developed. People started to collect maximum property. Those persons who had more control over the production, who had more control over the property, they became of high class, and other people were from lower class. This was the and the property brought greed. The spirit of the collection of the maximum property brought greed, corruption, and narrow ambitions in the society. It creates war. Therefore, the economic inequality must be removed. And Marx also stated in future in this regard. Before the Marx, Rousseau may be regarded as the founder of socialism. Rousseau also condemned economic inequality and shouted for the economic inequality. Modern educationists have derived many ideas from the Rousseau's book Emile. This is the another book of the Rousseau, Emile. In this book, Rousseau stated that the children should be given maximum right to express themselves freely. There should not be any restriction on the expressions of the children's ideas. The development of moral values should be given more priority. The development of the moral values should be given more priority in education. He opposed artificial education. He held that children should be educated in accordance with their tastes, with their interests. We should not, unnecessarily force the children to educate in particular stream. Children should be given the education as they want, or you can say children should be given the education as per their own taste. Education should be utilitarianism. Means such education should be provided which has its own utility. You are graduate, postgraduate, but you do not know the significance of your education. Such type of education is worthless. You You read about the Marx, you read about the Rousseau, you read about the Gandhi, but you are not able to utilize the values of these personalities in your life. Your entire education is worthless. Rousseau, however, Rousseau was in favor of the religious education, and he stated that the religious education should be given to the pupil, even should be given to the children, but it should be given only to those persons, those children who are capable to distinguish between right or wrong, who are capable to understand, who are capable to analyze the fundamentals of the religion. Otherwise, religious education should not be given. Religious education for the children should be given until they have developed a rational attitude in their mind. Without having the rational attitude, religious education should not be given to anybody. Otherwise, it would be disastrous. In modern day, you see, we are given the religious education. We are saying that we are Hindus, we are Muslims, but we do not know the fundamentals of these religion, and the problem occurs in our society. Anyway, Rousseau's famous book entitled Social Contract. This is the most important book of the Rousseau, Social Contract. Social Contract. Opens with the statement, Rousseau's famous book, The Social Contract, opens with his statement that man is born free, but he is everywhere in chain. This is the important statement. Man is born free, but everywhere in chain. Everywhere in chain. Actually, Rousseau wanted that when a person takes birth, he is completely free. He has not any type of restrictions, any type of obligations in the society. But as the child started to grow, so many responsibilities would be associated with that child. So many obligations would be associated with that child. Initially, responsibility of the education, you should get maximum marks in your class, you should be topper in class, you have to fulfill the expectations of your parents, expectations of your relatives, expectations of the society, and you are not free to think you are not free to think freely. So many restrictions are there from the society, from your, from your society, from your country, even from your constitutions. So many restrictions are there as per the Rousseau. So Rousseau said that these type of restrictions evolve when the man become civilized, and he said that actually once one man becomes civilized, the state evolved. How state evolved? State evolved with the contract of the state and the subject and the pupil. To protect the interest of the pupil, state was evolved. And there was a contract between the subject and the state, that subjects or pupil would have to pay the tax to the state, and in lieu of that tax, state has to protect the interest of the pupil. In this way, there was a social contract between the state and the subjects. State is entitled to protect the interest of the subject, and subjects are bounded to pay the tax. Means pupil will give the tax to the king, and king will protect the interest of the pupil. This was a contract. If king fails to protect the interest of the pupil has right to remove the king, to dethrone that king. This was not a small statement. In France, You see, during the last decade of the 19th century, 18th century, French divinity of the kingship evolved, and king declared himself as the owner of the state. But the theory of the Rousseau, teachings of the Rousseau, countered the divinity of the kingship, and ultimately it encouraged the people for revolt. Rousseau condemned the artificiality of the society and laid stress upon following the ways of nature. According to Rousseau, man enjoyed equality and happiness in primitive state. Therefore, people should return towards the simple life. And not only Rousseau, in every social reformist, they emphasized against the materialistic life, and they appealed the people to give up the luxurious life, give up the lavish life, give up the excess collection of the production. In Jainism, we know that aparigraha also talks about the excess collection of the production should not be done, aparigraha. So, and in same way, Rousseau emphasized that people should return back towards the simplicity of the life. Once the people would return back towards the simplicity of the right, the greed, corruption, and the conflicts in the society would be automatically minimized. So, he expressed the great faith in the potentiality of man rather than in individual institution or a particular person. Rousseau held that all people are equal and are free. The slogan of equality, fraternity, liberty during the French Revolution were inspired by the teachings of Rousseau. And Napoleon also accepted that the Rousseau was responsible for the French Revolution. Napoleon stated that if Rousseau had not been taken birth, the emergence of the French Revolution would have been impossible. There have been few people in the world who, like Rousseau, have influenced human thinking immensely. Rousseau may be regarded as the father of socialism also. However, the father of the scientific socialism was Marx, but before the Marx, Rousseau also talked about the economic inequality. Thank you very much. You should subscribe this video so that you could get the updates regarding new lectures. These lectures would be extremely informative and relevant for your UPSC exams, for GS as well as for history optional. So be in touch, and I will be there once again with another informative video. Thank you.